Good afternoon, students. Welcome back to microprocessor and microcontroller online class. In this class, I am going to talk about the introduction about the microcontrollers. In the previous classes, we have discussed about the microprocessor, that is 8086 microprocessor, and the programming language for the 8086 microprocessor with the instruction set and the assembler directives we have discussed in the second unit. And in the third unit, we have discussed how the input, output and peripheral devices can be connected with the 8086 microprocessor and 8085 microprocessor we have discussed in the third unit. How the input output devices are interfaced to the processor, microprocessor, we have discussed in the third unit. Now I am going to talk about the introduction of the fourth unit, that is introduction to the microcontroller. Our subject is microprocessors and microcontrollers. In this video onwards, in this lecture onwards, I am going to discuss about the microcontrollers. The topic of the microprocessor is complete. So in the syllabus for the EEE students, these microcontrollers are there in the fourth unit. For the EC student, this microcontroller, some part of the microcontrollers are there in the third unit itself only. So that for the EEE student, it is the fourth unit. For the electronic students, it will be in the third unit only. Then I am going with the introduction to the microcontrollers. By the name, we can say that it is a controller which is in the small size. Micro means when a device is in a small size, we can call it is micro. Micro controller, it is a device which is going to control the devices which are connected to that. For example, if it is a microcontroller, if this is an integrated circuit, and we can call it is a microcontroller, when it is interface or when it is connected with some input output devices, by making use of this microcontroller, we can control the operation of that input output devices which are connected to this controller. So that the name is microcontroller. Micro means small, controller is nothing but it is a device which is going to control the devices which are connected to this particular device or integrated circuit. Then I am going to talk about the what is a microcontroller. Microcontroller is nothing but microcontroller is also named as microcomputer. It is a microcomputer, or we have been getting the computer in the small size, that we can call it is a microcomputer, and the other name for the microcontroller is a microcomputer only. We know that the parts of the computer that consists of the CPU, the brain of the computer is called CPU, central processing unit, and it will have the memory that may be RAM and ROM, and that can be connected with some input output devices like the keyboard and the printers, and it can be interfaced with some specific function devices like the counters, so that we can have all these arrangement for the computer. But in case of microcontroller also, all these are there, all these were there in the microcontroller, so that we can call the microcontroller is a microcomputer. So other name for the microcontroller is a microcomputer, and computer can consist of all the parts like CPU, memory, input output devices, and some specially functioned devices. All will be there in the microcontroller, so that the microcontroller is also named as microcomputer. Then I can go with the some of the important things about the microcomputer, or we can call it is a microcontroller. And the microcontroller we have in nowadays, the microcontroller has been producing by the various companies like Atmel and Motorola and the microchip companies. All these has been producing the microcontrollers, in which the most popular company which has been producing the microcontrollers is called Intel Corporation. Intel Corporation has been producing the more number of microcomputers. In other words, it is a microcontroller in the various versions to reach the demand of the electronics industry. Then these are the companies that are Atmel, Motorola, Microchip and Intel Corporation has been producing the microcomputers into the market. Then we can call it is a computer on a chip. That means what? The computer is having CPU, memory, input output devices and some counters we are getting onto a integrated circuit, that is called, it is a chip only, so that we have been getting the complete computer on a chip, so that the microcontroller is also named as it is a computer on a chip is called microcontroller. So when we talk the same things about the processor, in the first unit we have discussed microprocessor is nothing but it is simply a processor, or simply it is a CPU only, but we have been getting that CPU in the form of an integrated circuit, so that the processor on chip is called a microprocessor, or simply we can call CPU on chip is called a microprocessor, whereas computer on a chip or system on a chip is called it is a microcontroller. You have to remember very clear differentiation between the microprocessor and the microcomputer. Microprocessor is nothing but it is CPU only, but we have been getting that CPU in the form of an integrated circuit, so that CPU on a chip is a microprocessor and a computer on a chip is called microcontroller. Then we can call it is a computer on a chip or a system on a chip is called it is a microcontroller. Then applications of the microcontrollers, we have applications of the microcontrollers generally, these microcontrollers generally used to control the devices which are connected to that a microcontroller, so that in the home appliances we can make use the microcontrollers. Home appliances, in the microwave ovens, in the automatic rice cooking machines, in iron boxes, we can find the microcontroller. Whenever it completes the particular function, automatically it turns off and automatically it turns on. That means what? It has been, the microcontroller has been controlling that device so that the specific function can be accomplished in a particular design manner. So that in home appliances, widely we have been using in home appliances, we can talk about the microwave ovens, washing machines. All these are the applications for the microcontrollers. In telephone communications, we have been using the microcontrollers. In the mobile phone, you can have the microcontroller. In the automation, in the industry of automation, widely the microcontroller has been using. For example, in automation, if you go with the fuel filling station and automatically that filling pipe will pour the petrol into the tank, such that automatically that turns off after reaching it required level of fuel. So that this is automation. So that these are some of the applications of microcontrollers. And coming to the advantages of the microcontrollers, as I said, from the definition of the microcontroller, it is clear that we have been getting that is in very small size, and it is a computer. It is a small size and it is a computer. It can control some devices which are connected to that particular system, so that we have been getting this is in the form of integrated circuit. So that one of the important feature of any integrated circuit is we can have that is in a small size. So that we have been getting the microcontroller in very small size. If it is very small size, we can get that is in the very low cost, so that it can be available in a very low cost, so that it is a low cost and it is in a small size. If it is a small size, the speed of the operation will be more only, though, so that it is very speed and it is reliable. These are the 4 advantages of the microcontroller. So that microcontroller is nothing but it is a programmable integrated circuit with the very small size and with the high speed and a low cost and more reliable, which is used to control the devices which are connected to that particular computer, and it is a microcomputer, and other name for the microcontroller is a computer on a chip. So that in the syllabus we are going to study one particular type of microcontroller, that is called 8051 microcontroller. In the market we have been getting the many versions of microcontrollers, but in the syllabus we have the 8051 microcontroller, whereas the 8086 is a microprocessor, 8085 is also a microprocessor, 8051 is a microcontroller. So that whatever we have discussed in the case of microprocessor, all these things we have to study here also, that is addressing modes of the 8086 we have discussed. So that here also we have to talk about the addressing modes of the 8051, that is a microcontroller. In the third unit we have discussed the how the input output devices are interfaced with the 8086 microprocessor, 8085 microprocessor. In this fifth unit we have to discuss how the devices can be interfaced with the 8051 microcontroller, how these devices can be controlled by the 8051 microcontroller. We have to talk in the unit 5. So that I am going to talk about the features of 8051 microcontroller. These features of the 8051 microcontroller will be asked for 2 or 3 marks in the exam. So that this is very, very careful. So that 8051, as I said, the microcontrollers has been producing by the various companies in the market. Atmel and the Microchip and Motorola and the Intel Corporation are the 4 popular companies which are producing the microcontrollers. But this 8051 has been producing by the Intel Corporation, and it is producing by the Intel Corporation, and it has been producing the 2 versions. One is in CMOS technology it has been producing, and in NMOS technology also it has been getting produced. So that CMOS stands for complementary metal oxide semiconductor technology, in which we can have both the NMOS and the PMOS, and whereas in NMOS technology, that is NMOS means N-channel metal oxide semiconductor, in which we are not going to make use the P-channel metal oxide semiconductor. Compared to the NMOS technology, CMOS technology offers the more speed and more compatibility, so that we can prefer the Intel 8051 microcontroller with the CMOS technology only. CMOS stands for complementary metal oxide semiconductor. So that this is some of the features of 8051, some of important key points of the 8051 microcontroller. It is having the 4 kilobyte of RAM. RAM stands for read-only memory. Generally, read-only memory is nothing but it is a code memory. That means what? In this memory space we can store the instructions, we can store the program, we can store some code. So that this RAM is also named as code memory. So that code memory in case of 8051, that is about the 4 kilobyte of memory. As the definition from the microcontroller, it is clear that the microcontroller, it is an integrated circuit in which we can find the CPU, we can find the input output devices, we can find the memory, we can find some special function devices. So that it internally, the 8051 or a microcontroller is having some memory, in which memory can be classified into 2 categories, that is about RAM and RAM. RAM is nothing but read-only memory, that is about the code memory or the program memory, so that where the instructions are going to reside in that particular memory, that is called a read-only memory. So that it is having the 4 kilobyte of RAM, it is having the 4 kilobyte of RAM. RAM stands for read-only memory, and it is having the 128 byte of RAM. RAM is nothing but it is random access memory, it is nothing but it can be readable and it can be write memory, so that here it can have the both read and write operations. And this memory is also called as data memory. That means what? Data can be either read from that particular RAM, or we can write the same data into that particular memory. That memory is named as random access memory, and this random access memory is also named as data memory. And again it will have the two timers. That means what? In the same integrated circuit, that is a microcomputer or a computer on a chip, that is nothing but it is a 8051, it is a microcontroller in which we will be finding 4 kilobyte of RAM, 120 bytes of RAM, and two timers we can have, and plus 6 interrupt sources we can have. That means what? 6 interrupt sources means 6 input output devices, or 6 interrupts can be given to the 8051 based on that particular interrupt priority, and one interrupt signal will be selected such that it can be served, and after that it resume back to the previous execution. So that it is having the 6 interrupt sources, so that 6 interrupt signals can have for the 8051, and along with the 6 interrupts we can have the 32 IO ports. 32 IO ports, this means by making use of these 32 pins or the 32 signals, we can connect the input output devices. These 32 pins will be divided into 4 ports. 32 ports will be divided into the 4 groups, 4 groups, group 1, group 2, group 3 and group 4. Each group consists of the 8 pins, so that it will be 32 pins you can call it is. And coming to the features of 8051 is a microcontroller. It is a device and integrated circuit has been producing by the Intel Corporation, and which is in the form of an IC which is going to control the devices which are connected to that one. And internal architecture, internal block diagram, internally this 8051 consists of the CPU, that is nothing but the brain of the computer, and it can consist of the memory. That memory may be memory may be RAM and ROM. RAM is a code memory and RAM is a data memory, and input output devices that can be connected with, that can have the internally input output devices, and some timers also you can have that are especially for some specific function. So these are the features. Now it can be available, it has been available in 40 pin DIP. DIP stands for dual line and dual in line package. So that in dual in line package we have been getting the 40 pin integrated circuit. It has been fabricating by the Intel Corporation using the CMOS technology, and it is having the 16-bit address lines and 20-bit data lines. So that this is very, very important point. In case of 8086 microprocessor, it is having the 20-bit address lines and the 16-bit data lines. But whereas in the 8051 we will be having 16-bit address lines and 8-bit data lines. So this is very, very important point when we compare the 8086 microprocessor to the 8051 microcontroller. 8086 microprocessor is having the 20-bit address lines and the 16-bit data lines, whereas the 8051 microcontroller will have the 16-bit address lines and the 8-bit data lines. And here it is having the 12 megahertz clock frequency, whereas 8086 microprocessor is having the 5 megahertz of clock frequency. So that compared to the 8086 microprocessor, speed of the operation of 8051 will be more, so that it is having the 12 megahertz clock frequency, whereas 8086 is having the 5 megahertz of clock frequency. And this architecture, whatever that architecture which is having, that is 8051, that architecture is called 8-bit Harvard architecture, and it is, just now I have explained, it is having the 32 IO ports, and it is divided into 4 groups, group 0, group 1, group 2, group 3, and each group consists of 8 pins, so that it is 8, 4 into 8 will be 32 IO pins are there, so that these 32 IO pins are bidirectional one, and that can be connected to the input output devices, so that these are the bidirectional, that can be input or that can be output from the that can be input to the 8051, and that can be output from the microcontroller, that is the 8051, so that these are the bidirectional one. And coming to the internal architecture, in internal 8051, just now I have explained, internally it has been having the memory, because microcomputer is nothing but it is an IC, it is consisting of CPU and memory, and the memory may be ROM, and RAM is about 4 kilobyte of RAM, 4 kilobyte of ROM, it is a code memory, and 120 byte of RAM, it is a data memory. With this the introduction and some of the features of 8051 is completed. In the tomorrow's class, I am going to talk about the internal architecture of 8051, so that internal architecture and the block diagram of 8051 I am going to discuss in tomorrow's class, so that fourth unit is completely with the 8051 microcontroller, and fifth unit is about interfacing of 8051 microcontroller with the input output devices like the ADC, that is analog to digital converter, digital to analog converter, how this microcontroller will control the devices which are connected to this microcontroller. We are going to discuss all the things in the fifth unit. First 3 units are with the 8086 microprocessor, and fourth and fifth units are for the microcontroller and its interfacing with the input output devices. Thank you students. In tomorrow's class I am going to talk about the internal architecture and the block diagram of 8051 microcontroller. Other name for the microcontroller, we know that it is a microcomputer, and it is also called as computer on a chip. That means what? We have been getting the complete computer on a chip. We know that the parts of the computer can consist of the CPU, memory, input output devices, and some special function devices also. All these we can avail in the form of an integrated circuit only. Onto a chip we have been getting all these things, so that it is called microcomputer. Thank you students. Thank you.